The morning started like any other. Just black coffee, my laptop screen flickering with overdue invoices, and the throb of another sleepless night behind my eyes. I wasn't in the mood for much, especially not for my younger sister Tessa barging into my apartment like she always did, uninvited, unannounced, like the place was hers. Before we begin, drop a comment and tell us what would you do in this situation? Be honest, tell me in the comments below. We read every comment. Let's begin. Linnea, my phone's dead. Let me borrow your charger, she whined, dumping her Louis Vuitton tote on my couch and letting her iPad fall on the table with a careless clack. I gave a tired smile and slid my charger toward her. I'm working. Yeah, your little invoice life. You're such a saint, she muttered, sarcastically, plugging in her phone while already unlocking her iPad. But she didn't lock it back when she stepped out to take a call. That's when everything started unraveling. I didn't mean to look. I swear I didn't. But the screen was glowing, and my name, Lena, was bold in a notification banner. From a group chat named Fam. My gut dropped. Curiosity cracked the dam. I tapped it open. She's literally a doormat, lol. Like she'll just pay the damn bills and still thank us for dinner. Tessa. Keep telling her she's appreciated and she'll keep footing your rent. Dumb girl has no backbone. Dad. She thinks love means sacrifice. Let her suffer. Just smile and nod. Mom. Just pretend to care. She's useful AF. Cousin Aria. The words weren't daggers, they were explosives. I just stood there, frozen, breathing like someone had cracked a rib. I read the thread again, over and over. Screenshots. I took them all. My hands shook as I did it. That entire year of bailing out my dad's overdue car payments, paying my sister's credit card debt, covering mom's medical bills, and pretending I didn't notice the spa receipts hidden in the receipts folder. All while skipping my own meals. Eating rice and eggs every day so they could eat steak behind my back. And they thought I was stupid. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just sat down, stared at the glowing screen, and decided something with a calmness that startled even me. Let them keep thinking I'm the doormat. Just one more day. One more. And tomorrow? They'd choke on the silence. That night, I made dinner like usual. Meatloaf and garlic mashed potatoes, Tessa's favorite. She ate with her legs propped up on my couch like she owned it. You're too good to us, Lena, Mom said on the family FaceTime. She even faked a tear. Yeah, Dad added, munching. You were always the glue holding this family together. Tessa winked. Don't ever change, sis. You're perfect just the way you are. I smiled through my teeth. Perfect. Just the way I am. As I cleared the dishes, I opened my laptop and sent out 3 emails. One to my accountant, one to my lawyer, one to my landlord. Then I turned off the lights and watched them all go home. None of them knew what was coming. None of them saw the storm forming. They just thought they'd fooled the fool. The next morning, the apartment was quiet. Too quiet. No banging at the door, no texts from Tessa asking for brunch money, no missed calls from Mom guilt-tripping me about family loyalty. Just the hum of the fridge and the sound of my fingers flying over the keyboard. I had barely slept. But it didn't matter. I felt more awake than I had in years. I sent one final email, to my bank this time. The subject line read, "Immediate freeze, joint accounts." Then I turned my phone off. That was it. No more deposits into Dad's account. No more Venmo transfers to Tessa. No more coverage for Mom's monthly health insurance. All of it gone. They could sit with their group chat and figure out how to pay for their own lives without the doormat footing the bills. Around noon, I went out. Not to escape, but to breathe. I walked downtown, past the corner cafe, where Tessa had once screamed at me for using the wrong milk in her latte. Past the boutique where Mom had used my card accidentally for a $1,200 coat she still claimed was on clearance. Everywhere I turned was a reminder of how often I'd given and how little they gave back. But that day wasn't about them anymore. It was about me. I stepped into the law office of Catherine Monroe, the most ruthless attorney in the city, and slid the stack of screenshots across the table. She scanned the texts, then raised an eyebrow. I assume you're ready to stop paying for these people's existence? I'm not just done, I said. I want it in writing. I want a clean break. And I want everything I've paid to be documented. I want to file for civil restitution if they come after me. Catherine's smile was thin but sharp. Oh, honey, you've come to the right place. That night, the storm hit. It started with Tessa's voice screeching through my voicemail. Lena, what the hell? My card got declined at Zara. Dad's car payment bounced. And Mom says her prescription didn't go through. What's going on? Then a text from Mom. Sweetheart, is there a mistake with the bank? Your father's account says 0. Please fix this. And then a call from Dad. I didn't answer any of them. Instead, I sat at my desk with a glass of wine and watched as the family group chat lit up like a Christmas tree. Tessa, what the hell is happening? Mom. Lena, call me now. Dad. I swear to God, you better fix this. Arya, are you mad about something? That stupid group chat? It was just jokes, Lena. Tessa, you're overreacting. You've always been so emotional. I stared at their messages. One by one. All of them scrambling, unraveling, losing the ground they had walked over me for years. Then, finally, I typed one line. I know everything. And I left the chat. But I wasn't done yet. That was just the warm-up. I needed them to feel the silence, to live in the absence of the woman they called useful. I needed them to experience a version of their life without me in it. The next morning, I took a day off work and drove to my childhood home. The house I'd practically paid for. The same home where I used to sleep on a pull-out couch just so Tessa could have the only guest bedroom. I rang the doorbell. No one answered. So I used the spare key still hidden in the same fake rock beside the steps. I walked into the living room and sat at the dining table, exactly where my parents used to host those so-called family dinners, where they'd smile to my face and text behind my back. And then I opened the suitcase I brought. Inside was every receipt, every bank statement, every document proving that I had paid over $97,000 for this family over the past 5 years. And with that, I laid the folders out neatly across the table. When they came home, they'd see it all. No arguments, no screaming, just the facts, and a single note taped to the wall. I was your backbone. Now stand on your own. By evening, my phone had 46 missed calls. The last one was from my mother. Her voice trembled in the voicemail. Lena, please, we didn't mean those things. You know how people joke around. You're taking it too far. I deleted it. The only thing they were sorry for was getting caught. And now that the money faucet had been shut off, the cracks were showing faster than I expected. The next morning, I got a knock on my apartment door. Not a text. Not a call. A knock. Tessa stood there, her makeup smeared, hair in a messy bun that usually cost $300 at a blowout bar. I just want to talk, she said, folding her arms. Can I come in? No. She blinked like she hadn't even considered rejection. I said, I just want to talk, she repeated, her voice more defensive now. Look, I know you saw the chat. But you took it the wrong way. We were just joking. I leaned on the doorframe. That joke cost me my savings. Oh, come on. You're acting like we're monsters. We love you. No, I said, calm and ice-cold. You loved what I did for you. She scoffed. Fine. Be dramatic. You always were. But you'll come around. You always do. That's when I smiled. Not this time. I shut the door. Later that day, I sat across from Catherine Monroe again. She had the civil complaint packet ready. This outlines every documented instance where you were financially exploited under false pretenses by family members who intentionally misrepresented their intentions, she said. We can send it formally, or just let them see it. I want them to see it, I replied. I want them to know exactly how much they took from me, and that I'm done. She nodded. I'll deliver it by courier tomorrow. But Lena, if you want to stop here, just walk away, you can. I didn't hesitate. I don't, because it wasn't just about revenge. It was about taking back control. For the first time in my adult life, I wasn't bending over backward to keep the peace. And the silence felt good. But silence doesn't last in families like mine. 2 nights later, my cousin Arya tried to ambush me at the grocery store. I was standing in line, cart filled with essentials. Nothing fancy, just real food for once. Not the processed noodles I'd lived on for years. Lena, wait. Arya jogged up, her voice a little too chipper for someone who'd called me a useful idiot a week ago. She reached into her designer bag and handed me a gift bag. I wanted to say sorry. That chat, it wasn't right. I get it. And I feel awful. I opened the bag. Inside was a half-used scented candle and a Starbucks gift card. $10. Seriously? She blinked. What? I thought it was nice. Do you think $10 covers 5 years of emotional and financial manipulation? Her face stiffened. You don't have to be bitter, Lena. Bitter? I asked, my voice rising just enough for the man behind me to glance over.
No, Arya.
Bitter was me, working overtime, so you could go on girls' trips. Bitter was watching you wear $1,000 outfits I unknowingly paid for. This. I held up the candle. This is pathetic. I left the bag on the counter and walked away. That's when it started. The rumors. The family turned on me like a pack of wolves. Suddenly, I wasn't the selfless sister or loyal daughter. I was the cold-hearted monster who abandoned them in hard times. But I didn't back down. I sent the packet of documents to every one of them. Dad.
Mom.
Tessa.
Arya.
All of them. And with it, a final message. From now on, I pay for no one but myself. That same night, I finally booked something I'd dreamed of for years. A solo weekend trip to Vermont. A quiet cabin. No Wi-Fi. Just me and the sound of no one needing anything from me. When I arrived, I sat by the fireplace, sipped coffee that wasn't reheated 6 times, and watched the snow fall. No screaming. No chaos. Just peace. But my peace wouldn't last long. Because while I was gone, someone broke into my apartment. And when I came back, nothing was stolen. But everything was moved. And on my kitchen counter, in neat handwriting, was a note that made my blood run cold. You think you're free of us? You're not. I stood in the doorway of my apartment, my suitcase still in hand, heart hammering as I stared at the note on the counter. You think you're free of us? You're not. No signature. No fingerprints. No forced entry. Just that sentence, scrawled in cheap black ink on a torn grocery receipt from the corner store down the block. I scanned the apartment. Everything was almost untouched. The couch cushions were fluffed wrong. My favorite mug was turned slightly on the shelf. A framed photo of me at my college graduation, the only one where Dad actually showed up, was turned face down. Subtle violations. Intimate ones. The kind you'd only notice if you lived here. It wasn't a robbery. It was a message. I called the building superintendent, asked for the security footage. He said the cameras had gone offline due to maintenance 2 days ago. How convenient. I filed a police report. They shrugged. No signs of forced entry, no theft, just a domestic dispute scare. They didn't take me seriously. But I took myself seriously. The next morning, I changed every lock. I installed cameras. Bolted every window. Upgraded the security system. And I called Catherine. I need a restraining order. On all of them. She exhaled through the phone. Even your parents? Especially them. There was a long pause before she said, I'll get started. But I wasn't going to live in fear. Fear was their game. Control was their currency. So, I did the one thing I knew they didn't expect. I went public. I wrote a long-form piece for a blog called Real Women Rise, anonymously at first. A raw, no-holds-barred account titled, The Doormat Diaries, How My Family Used Me, and How I Finally Said No. It detailed everything. The group chat. The financial abuse. The years of manipulation disguised as love. The emotional leeching that bled me dry. Within days, it went viral. Comments poured in. I thought I was the only one. You're brave for telling the truth. Thank you. This is my story too. Word for word. Women from all over the country shared similar tales. Sisters who paid their brothers' rent for years and got nothing but gaslighting in return. Daughters who cared for sick parents while being called lazy. Women who were emotionally blackmailed into giving until they had nothing left. And my story became a rallying cry. That's when the family panicked. Tessa called from a block number. She left a voicemail dripping in false sweetness. Lena, you aired our dirty laundry to strangers? You've humiliated us. Do you feel proud? Then Dad sent a text. You just made yourself look weak. Family always forgives. Strangers won't. Mom emailed me a 4-paragraph essay about forgiveness and how blood always wins. But it was too late. Their narrative had shattered. They were used to controlling me behind closed doors. Now the world saw them for who they really were. And I wasn't ashamed. For the first time in my life, I felt clean. But that didn't mean they were done. A week later, I received a letter. Official stationery. My father's name in bold at the bottom. You owe us, it read. A breakdown of what they claimed I had borrowed over the years: furniture, food, shared utilities from when I lived at home in college. The total? $31,042.88. I laughed so hard I cried. But Catherine didn't. This is a preemptive move, she said. They're trying to provoke a lawsuit or trigger public sympathy. They want to reframe the story. Let them try, I said. I have truth. They have lies. But they weren't playing alone anymore. The blog had gotten the attention of a podcast producer in New York. He called me after reading my story. Lena, have you considered telling this on air? I hesitated. This story, it's already helped people, he said. But your voice? Hearing it, your courage, your pain, your rage, it could go even further. So I agreed. I recorded the episode under my real name. For the first time, I said it all aloud. Every betrayal, every dollar, every emotional wound I'd patched up with silence. The episode aired on a Thursday. By Saturday, it had 2 million downloads. People weren't just listening. They were responding, sending letters, donations, messages of solidarity, even lawyers offering pro bono support. And suddenly, I wasn't the girl crying in the shadows anymore. I was the storm. 3 days after the podcast aired, I got an email.
Subject:
Family lawsuit withdrawn. They'd backed off. Catherine confirmed it. No judge was buying it. They folded. It wasn't justice, it was survival. They'd finally realized I wasn't afraid anymore. I moved to a new apartment 2 weeks later.
Smaller.
Quieter.
Mine.
No surprise drop-ins. No guilt texts. Just peace. Earned peace. One afternoon, I got a knock. It was Tessa. No makeup. No designer clothes. Just eyes full of something that might have been regret. She held out a folded letter.
Please.
Just read it. I took it, closed the door, and never opened it. Months passed. I started teaching financial literacy workshops for women. Told them what I never knew. Saying no doesn't make you unloving. It makes you free. Then one day, I walked past a cafe window and froze. Inside, my parents were sitting with Tessa. They looked tired, older, broken in the way people look when they lose their leverage. I watched them laugh. For a second, I felt the old ache. But I kept walking. They had each other. And I finally had myself.